Hi, my name is Blair Glenn. I am an ISA certified arborist and owner of Saratoga Tree Service. I'd like to take a few minutes and talk about the flowering pear. Principally, I'd like to talk about a species of flowering pear that is commonly used as a street tree, and the common name is the Bradford pear. Here you can see a mishap where a large limb failed and broke off. It's about 1st of October, and we've had a very dry year, and amazingly there is an abundant number of fruit and nuts and acorns on all of the trees. In this case, this is a flowering tree. It still produces a very tiny pear. It's a non-edible pear, but the numbers of fruit on the tree caused the tree to fail. Another interesting anomaly that's associated with this particular type of tree is the very tight branch limb structure. If you look on the far right-hand side, you can see that two of the limbs are so close together that as each of them expands in diameter, there is nothing that can happen except that they're going to split and push each other apart. There's a close-up of that fruit that I was talking about. What I'm showing you here is what is commonly done these days in street trees, is to put the tree in an enclosure or a root containment. The theory is that this forces the roots to grow down. The reality is that these things rarely work. They cause more damage than good, and as you can see in this one, that's already broken the containment, and the roots either go over or go under and come back up. But the sad part is that they usually cause the roots to girdle and grow around in a corner, and they usually cause more damage than good. I also have to wonder if these root containments cause a root system to grow in an unnatural way and don't allow the tree to get enough uptake of water and nutrients to actually create a weaker tree. That's my theory, but take it for what it's worth. This tree has been used in abundance as a street tree because of the way it grows. It has a much more upright stature. It does not get too large, and it has absolutely beautiful white flowers, blossoms in the springtime. Unfortunately, it's also a tree that has a tendency to grow outward down low enough where trucks seem to clear off the branches, and oftentimes it's, in this case, by the bus stop here, the requirements are now to pretty much butcher the tree on the street side. So I'm not quite sure if this is a good choice for a street tree. Oh, here's a very good example of that tight bark trunk inclusion, where you have the branches growing so close together that they force each other apart. The city of San Jose has had many instances, hundreds of instances of the street trees actually splitting and falling apart, and in many cases actually falling on cars. This is unusual, but the tree seems to be associated with this particular cultivar. I don't know exactly what causes it, but the majority of the Bradford pear have this unfortunate configuration of trunk and limb structure. You can see in just a short period of time these two branches are going to grow into each other, and in essence it's going to cause the tree to commit suicide. This is a prime example of what I was talking about before when you have a tree in a root containment. It doesn't allow the roots to grow normal. They should be near the surface. They should be spreading out, giving the tree a good stability. The concept of forcing the roots to go down so they don't lift the sidewalk is a good concept, but you have to find a balance between what the tree needs and what you can get away with when you plant a tree in an enclosure like this. There are many cultivars of this tree, and many of them have better qualities to them. Pruning is a very important step in pruning out the tight branches at a very early age. And it can be a very nice tree if it's taken care of from the onset. There are a number of other problems associated with it, including fire blight, which is devastating, and also leaf spot. There's also another flowering pear called the aristocrat pear, which is really hammered with the leaf spot. It doesn't seem to have as bad of a tight trunk bark inclusion problem or tight structural problem on the limb structure. Thanks for taking a few minutes to watch this brief presentation about the flowering pear. And once again, my name is Blair Glenn. I am the owner of Saratoga Tree Service.